I know we recently just welcomed 2021, but we're in middle of Jan, almost at the end of Jan, and we're heading into the February, which is the end of the financial year. Now, I know you're thinking that this is a significant date for CFOs, CEOs, but remember, you are a business. You are you incorporated. UCC, UPTY Limited. So think of yourself as a business, and it's a very significant date for you to take note of and take action as well in preparation of this date. In this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you need to do in preparation for the end of the financial year in South Africa.
Welcome to the Wealth Nation podcast, a podcast for every mother, daughter, grandmother, sister, and wife, and the men who are smart enough to tune in. The Wealth Nation podcast brings you all you need to know about investments, business, property investments, personal finance, and all-around financial wellness. Here is your host, Yolanda Rose.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Wealth Nation podcast. I'm Yolanda, financial advisor and wealth coach, and it is my goal, as always, on the show and any other digital platform that you hear or see me on, it's my goal to give you all the tips, advice, and strategies that you need to manage your money well and to build generational wealth. So if you are new, you're listening to me for the first time, please listen. And I'm sure I'm going to give you value. So you're going to be subscribing, hopefully, on whichever platform that you're listening on. Also, please link up with us on other social platforms. Different things are happening on the various channels. We're on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram as well. So reach out, say hello. Also check out our YouTube channel. Lots of very different content happening on our YouTube channel. And if you are listening to us on our YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel as well. Every Thursday, there is a new video that comes out, so look out for that. So this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast is sponsored by Financial Success Summit 2021. This is a summit that we at Financially Fabulous Females are putting together for all South Africans all over the country. It's a one-in-a-kind virtual financial summit where we're going to get the best speakers, the best influencers locally and internationally to give you all of the strategies, all of the tips, and everything that you need to know in finance, locally and internationally. And it's all going to be happening on the 17th and the 18th of April this year. And it happens right on your device, on your phone, on your tab, on your laptop. You can reach out anywhere. If you want to get your hands on tickets, go to our website. It's www.financialsuccesssummit.net. Tickets are on sale now. So today we're talking about the financial year end on the 28th of February this year. And this thing that you need to do, that you need to be preparing for. Remember that it's not just about making money, earning more, getting a side hustle, getting more income into your household, but it's also about keeping money. And I think that's more value in actually keeping more of what you make. And that's where a lot of people fall short. So that's the whole crux of today's episode, where I want to tell you that the things that you need to do to reduce your tax liability before the end of the tax year in February. So the first thing that you got to do is top up your retirement annuity contributions. Now, it's important for you to know what is your maximum retirement savings and whether you have utilized your maximum tax allocation that is payable on your earnings, especially more if you're not contributing to a pension or provident fund, or if you have significant earnings other than a salary. Now, I want you to go to YouTube and check out the video where I explain the breakdown of a retirement savings, how you can get back, and the tax deductibility from your retirement savings.
Raising financially savvy children involves teaching them a variety of skills, from budgeting to planning to earning and saving. Besides giving them an understanding of the value of a rand, it prepares them for real-world finances. Financial literacy is a vital skill, and it is never too early to teach your kids about money. Many parents wonder how they can teach their kids about money and where to find age-appropriate resources. You can now purchase the Financial Literacy for Kids workbook, which is aimed at primary school kids. It's now available at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com. This workbook provides you with 12 lessons, activities, lesson plans, discussion points, and quizzes that you can use to test your kids' knowledge. Shop now at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Tuned In. Now back to the show.
So go to our YouTube channel and check out the video on how to get tax refunds on retirement savings in South Africa. I break it down and you will understand how topping up your retirement allocation is going to get you more back at the end of the tax season. But in a nutshell, you are able to contribute 27.5% of your taxable income into retirement savings via a pension plan, provident plan, or a retirement annuity. And this is capped at an amount of 350,000 Rand a year. So essentially, if you're earning R1 million and you utilize the full allocation of 27.5%, you won't be taxed on R1 million. You will be taxed at a rate of 725,000 or so. All right, so it does really reduce your tax liability, and you're going to get a rebate on that as well. The next thing that you're going to do is invest in a 12J fund. Now, we haven't really talked a lot about the 12J fund already, but if you want to shield your salary, your bonus, or even any capital gain that you have accumulated over the past year from income tax, then when you invest in a 12J investment, you're going to get a lot of tax protection. So how this works is there's a tax incentive that is designed to encourage investment into a range of private companies in South Africa which meet a defined criteria as set out by government. It's government's plan to encourage private investment into certain types of businesses, and that's what the 12J Section 12J of the Income Tax Act is all about. So the incentive actually gives taxpayers the ability to write off 100% of their investment against their taxable income up to a maximum of 2.5 million Rand per annum, thereby giving you an immediate tax benefit of up to 45% of your investment. Now, that is something that is huge, but there's a lot of rules to follow here. There's big lump sums that are involved, and we're going to be talking about it more in the show and more in Financial Success Summit if you're joining us in April as well. Right, so the third thing you got to do is you got to make use of your tax-free investment account. And again, we speak about this in length on the show, on whatever platform that I'm on. I'm always talking about it. And I always say that this should be your very first investment in South Africa. So if you check out the video on our YouTube channel, I'm going to put all of these links to the videos that I'm mentioning down in the show notes as well. And you're looking for the video called The Investment That Every South African Needs. I break it down there. And also in a previous episode of the Wealth Nation podcast, that link is available in the show notes as well. And that explains how a tax-free investment works, how you can use these strategies to enhance your financial status for retirement. And I give you some really cool strategies that you can use and also explain the functioning of a tax-free investment as well. So according to the rules, you can invest a minimum of 36,000 Rand every single year, up to a maximum of 500,000 Rand per South African. And however you invest, it has to be in specialist tax-free investments. And whatever growth you get, it's not being taxed, which is great because essentially you can put all of your money offshore in the various tax-free investment platforms, index funds, ETFs, and make some serious bucks and not pay a single cent in tax. And you can withdraw as much as you like, as much as you have in that investment. So you're not liable for a single drop of tax on the growth of your investment, even if you decide to withdraw. So that is something very unique. And we speak about strategies, how you can use this type of investment to fund yourself during retirement. You can also make a donation to your family trust. Now, individual taxpayers can make a donation of up to 100,000, I think, per annum into your family trust. Now, these donations can be in cash or it can be in kind, so jewelry, etc. So if you are using a family trust as part of your estate planning, these donations may be made into the trust. The goal is to lower your future estate duty taxes that may become payable by transferring wealth into the trust, portions at a time, within the boundaries that the law allows. and you can start with that 100,000 per taxpayer. So this is something very different from the public benefit organization tax deductibility. So moving on to the next point is that you can donate to a SARS registered charity. So if you're thinking about giving money to a good cause, you can donate to these charities that are registered as PBOs, public benefit organizations. And if you go to the SARS website, you can find a various list of organizations that are registered. Now, this rule basically allows us to donate up to a limit of 10% of your taxable income. So any donations exceeding this limit may be carried forward and can be claimed as a deduction in the following year. And you got to get the S18A tax certificate from that PBO. So when you're making those donations, please make sure you get that certificate. So even in combination, you use, if you use everything that I mentioned here, you drastically reduce your tax liability. And this is why the tax is so significant. And these are the various ways that you can hold on to more money, more of your hard-earned money, and not pay tax. Who likes to pay tax? Is there somebody that likes to pay tax? Yes, we got to pay taxes. We got to work within the framework that government gives us. But we got to be smart, okay? We got to use wisdom. We got to use our knowledge, and we got to understand the various rules and not be caught out. And we work hard. I mean, we really work hard, and we got to keep as much as we can within the law that the Lord provides. All right, the last thing you got to do is keep a logbook. If you are getting a travel allowance from work, then you got to keep a logbook. Last year, SARS reimbursed around R3.65 per kilometer. Now, that's a lot of money, especially if you're traveling, you're on the road, you're a sales rep. That is a lot of money to get back for every kilometer driven from the travel allowances that you get. All right, so those are the things that you need to do. This is why it's such a significant date. You got to get all of this done before the end of the tax year. So 1, get hold of your accountant. 2, get hold of your financial advisor. It's a very busy time for financial advisors because a lot of people are looking to reduce their tax liability and get as much rebates as they can and as many refunds as they can from the South African Revenue Service. All right, so share this. It's very important that people are timely to act on this before people start getting busy, financial advisors start getting busy, and then you lose out on this opportunity and getting some money back. And when you do, you get your tax refund towards the second half of the year. You'll be smiling all the way to the bank. All right, so that's it for me on this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast. Catch me on Thursday night on YouTube. Another financial video coming out. And don't forget to get your hands on tickets for Financial Success Summit. It's something new, something very different. Normally, every financial conference is done by these big brands, wanting you to market their products to you. This is something different. I am putting together, my team is putting it together. So there's no big corporates that's going to push products down your face. You're getting good, solid strategy, good, solid advice from real movers and shakers in the industry. I'm so excited to share all of this with you in the coming weeks. We're going to have all of our speakers on the Wealth Nation podcast. You're going to hear from them, and the wisdom that they have to share with you guys is going to be awesome. All right, so that's it for me on this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast. I will chat to you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to visit our website at www.financiallyfabulousfemales.com and sign up for our free investment masterclass.